Hello everyone, RiceTime911 here, and today in this tutorial video, or rather a guide, I'm going to be showing you, or rather talking to you about index paths, what they are, where they are, and how to use them. So let's get started. Perhaps a good place to start is where they are. Well, if you go into your mod after unzipping it in a folder to work on it, and you go into your i3D file, you can find the index path or the node. The term is interchangeable, so basically node and index path mean the same thing. So you can find it in the attributes panel, so window attributes in your Giants editor, the i3D file of your mod. You'll find index path under attributes transform, and basically what it is a series of numbers and symbols, and as you'll see, they're all different for all the pieces of your mod. So basically, each of them has a unique index path, which can be found just by clicking on the object within your i3D file. So yeah, they're all listed right here, so if you need to see them. And another place you're going to see indexes and nodes, index paths, all mean the same thing, is in your XML file. So if you open that up, you'll find index. It's asking for index in a lot of places, and that has quotation marks, and in between that is a series of numbers and symbols. So that is also an index or index path. So basically that's where you find them, in your XML and also in your Giants editor file. So now that we know where to find them, what exactly is their purpose? Like, what do they do? Well, when you're in your i3D file, and let's say you have your outdoor camera, you are looking at that, and you see that your index path is 0900 with all those symbols and stuff in between, all that randomness. Well, basically, when you go to the XML and you look under the camera section, you'll find 900. So basically, you see these line up. The index path for your outdoor camera here lines up to your one in the XML. And there's a reason for that. Basically what it does is it takes the indexes, the XML takes your indexes and connects them to the game, so it gets everything working properly. So here we have the index path for the outdoor camera set to 0900. That's where it is in the editor. Well, basically what the XML does is it tells the game, okay, you can find the outdoor camera at 0900. And so the game looks there. It looks in this file, this editor, at 0900 and confirms that there is indeed an outdoor camera there. So basically the XML tells the game to look here at index path 0900, and the game confirms, or tries to confirm, that the outdoor camera is indeed at 0900. So now we've been talking about index paths for a little while now, and we learned some things, which is good, but what exactly is the practical usage of this? Well, for starters, let's say we have an exhaust particle 1. Basically, that's a place where it will put out exhaust particles from right here. Right at that point, it'll put exhaust particles, it'll spawn them. That's what the game will do when it's in game. Okay, so we have our exhaust particle at 0160. Now we go into the XML file and we see our exhaust effects. So this would be our exhaust particle. It says that the index is at 012200 for that. And as you can see, our highest number for any sort of index is 028. So obviously we wouldn't have a 012200. So obviously it's not going to find an exhaust particle there. So it's going to produce probably a Lua error, and your exhaust particle definitely won't work. So basically what you want is to make sure that your exhaust particle has an index path that is correct. So in this case 0160, just set it so it's 0160, and yeah, then it will work because it will actually find your exhaust particle there. And basically what you want to do is do this with all the functional parts of your mod. So anything that has a function, your lights, your exhaust particles, your cameras, your HUDs, and basically anything that actually moves or does anything, you want to make sure that it has the correct index path mentioned within the XML. So basically, you don't need to change the index path too much within the i3D file. Where you need to make sure it's correct is in the XML. So just make sure that when your XML says that something's at 01400, that there actually is something at 01400, which in this case, there is. It's part of the indoor HUD. And as you can see, you can pretty much tell what it's talking about because it says speed display, fuel display, and in here you can see speed. So a lot of times it's pretty intuitive. You'll pretty much know what it's talking about. So yeah, it'll be pretty easy to make sure they got the right indexes. So to sum it up, index paths are basically just a series of numbers and symbols which you can find in your Giants header file and your XML, which tell the game where something is. And they can be found in your Giants header file by selecting in the scenograph, Windows scenograph, any of the pieces of your mod, or selecting them manually just by clicking on them in the header. So now we know what they are, where they are, and what they do, their practical purpose as well. So now we can go on and add some index paths to our mods safely, or change ones that weren't working before. So this is very important when you're adding custom scripts as well. For instance, passenger script, lights out on, that you get the proper indexes so that it will see where the lights are. The game, that is, will see that there are lights there. And basically it's just to make sure the game knows where everything is that you want to function. Okay, so that pretty much sums it up. I do hope this tutorial has helped you and that you are now an expert in indexes. So if this tutorial did help you, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and check out my other tutorials, which are, well, they're hopefully helpful to you as well. Okay, so yeah, that pretty much wraps it up, and I'll see y'all later. Bye!